This spring on all the runways, you saw a really beautiful, soft, glowy look called Baby Skin. Stella McCartney, Donna Karan, Missoni all did it. Also, Emma Stone in the new Spider-Man has this look. So for this celebrity makeover, this tutorial, I'm going to combine the two, give her a really soft, glowy skin, flushed cheeks, just a really soft mouth, and just a really appropriate look for anybody, anywhere. All right, first thing we're going to do is we prep your skin, of course, because it's so important in this. We moisturized, and then we primed with primer. Now I'm going to start with foundation. Now first I'm just going to do her forehead and her eyelids before I do her eyes, because since it is so important the skin be flawless, I want to make sure that I have every opportunity to keep the skin flawless. All right, now we're going to conceal her eyelid. Close for me. Close. Using my brush number 76, I am powdering the foundation I put on. Now I'm just going to give her some soft brows. And I'm just going to fill them in with a little brow powder so they're a little softer. Using my brush number 1 and some brow powder, I'm going to fill in her brows. Going back over it with the brow brush to really soften it. Now there's not a ton of definition to the lid. It's just a really pretty shiny lid with lots of lashes. But in order to create more visual definition, I'm going to use cream shadow on the lid. I am going to mix together a matte and a cream so I get opaque coverage, but I still get shimmer. Using my number 22 brush, apply it just to the lid, only up to the crease. This will help create more definition with less color because I'm over highlighting an area. Just as important for what you darken is what you lighten, because the contrast between what you lighten and what you darken create more contrast, thus giving you more impact with less dark shades. So you can do it with much more subtle shades. Okay, now I'm taking a shimmer white and a matte white. Now, whenever you're doing a shimmer and a matte and you're mixing them, remember that what you touch first goes on top. So if you want to mix the two, I touch my shimmer first, then I touch my matte. So when I apply it, the matte is against the skin, the shimmer is not. So that's just to let you know. What you touch first is on top. What you touch last is against the skin. Just doing that on the lid. Now, I'm going to take and kind of clean off my brush because I want her brow bone to be less highlighted. So I'm going to use a matte beige. I'm going to use a matte beige and put it on her brow bone. Now, just to kind of show you the differences between the three. There's the matte beige, the matte white, and the white shimmer. So I combined these two for her lid, and then that is on her brow bone. That way you get a much more highlighted lid than you do brow bone. And so it really makes that lid pop. I'm going to do my first layer of mascara. Look down for me. Poor Mercedes. She's never going to live it down.
No.
That's okay. We've learned something today. There is a such thing as too much mascara. Just a little too much. Not a lot. But it's better too much than not enough, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look down. Wasn't that cleanser cool?
Mm-hmm.
Or did it not get it off as well as what you have at home?
It was pretty
It's all natural, too.
nice.
Real nice. Okay, now doing our first layer of mascara. Look down for me. Look down. A little bit more. There you go. Now I'm going to use the heated eyelash color to make Mercedes' lashes perfect. Look down. Using it after mascara because it uses mascara to curl with. Now we're going to take some mid-tone. Now I want it to be very precise. Once again, there's not a lot of darkness to this look at all. And I'm taking a very, very, very pale mid-tone. To give you an example, that's normal. That's what I'm going to use now. Just very, very pale. I'm going to get it right in that crease with my brush number 13. In Spider-Man, Emma Stone's look was really, really subtle. Just lots of lashes, subtly defined eye, flush cheek, soft, subtle lips. I'm going to take a little bit more of that mid-tone. I'm going to close in that outer corner. Once again with my brush number 13. I'm going to take my number 28 brush and I'm going to blend that out, making sure to blend upward versus down in the crease. That's not to darken the lid. Now I'm going to take my number 41 brush and some black shadow, because the lash line, even though it's not lined, look down for me, is very defined in the look. So I'm going to push some black matte shadow right into the lash line. I'm going to take my number 30 brush and a little bit deeper of midtone. There you go. Look, yeah. Just put it right along that lash line. The outer corner, I'm just kind of patting it in, pulling up as I pull out. Open. Down. Blending it out with my number 28. Look down. Now we're going to do another layer of mascara before we move on. Now I'm going to clean off underneath the eye. Foundation down. Using my brush number 53, I'm going to conceal underneath her eyes. Now I'm only going to powder right underneath the eye because I need the rest of the skin to stay moist to do the most important part of this look, which is create that glow, and it's 2 steps. Okay, now I'm going to take a facial illuminator which is just a product that has some sheen to it. And I'm going to take a tiny, which has got like a champagne-y sheen. I'm going to take a tiny bit of foundation. I said tiny bit. And I'm going to mix them together. Now I'm going to strategically place this on Mercedes' face to give it that glow. I'm going to do a little bit on top of her cheekbone. Down the center of her nose. A little bit on her forehead, above each eye. A little bit in the center of the chin. Now also one other thing I'm going to do before I powder is I'm going to flush her cheek a little bit. Smile for me. With a cream apricot cheek color and my number 64 brush, I'm giving her apples a glow. I'm going to take my sponge. I'm going to blend that out. Now I'm going to lightly powder. Because we use the illuminator, it's going to stay shiny on those spots, but glowier. But I'm going to go back and reinforce it with a tiny bit of a powder illuminator as well afterwards. You can see even after I powder, those areas that I put that illuminator on aren't super shiny so that they look oily, but they have a little bit more glow than the other. I'm using my brush number 73 to apply the powder. I'm going to finish the eyes, taking my pale mid-tone, look up, and going just right along the lower lash line. Then I'm going to take my number 13 brush, my number 14 brush, and that white shimmer, put it around the inside corner of the eye. Look down. There you go. Making sure it wraps. Now I'm going to apply yet another layer of mascara. Okay, look up for me. First I'm going to mascara the bottom lashes. Then I'm going to do another layer on top. Okay, now I'm going to take a powder shimmer and just reinforce kind of the areas where I did that shimmer. I'm using my brush number 77. Just a tiny, tiny bit. Does not have to be a lot to do its job. Then And I'm going to follow that with Sheer Bright Apricot Powder Blush. Now this look has got not a lot of sun to the skin, so we don't need to bronze. I know, you're shocked I'm not bronzing. Smile. But on the runways and Emma Stone and the new Spider-Man, very pale, which is very pretty actually. Part of it being baby skin means it hasn't been burnt up by the sun. I'm using my brush number 73 to do that with. Blending it out a little bit with my powder 73. And then we're just going to do a nice, soft, warm pink glossy lip. In the movie, Emma Stone wore lipstick, but with Mercedes, I think we just need a lip gloss, because on the runways, they wore next to nothing. So by combining those two looks to personalize it for Mercedes and to make it look more like the runways, okay, so in this makeup tutorial on a celebrity look as well as a spring runway look, Stella McCartney, Missoni, Donna Karan, this makeup tutorial was all about doing glowy, fresh skin. Emma Stone and Spider-Man had very little color on. It was just about being fresh, dewy, and youthful looking.